Hey guys, welcome back in for another video of life on the island of Ark. This is Mittens again. I want to welcome everybody in. Um, if you missed the last video, it should be up on the channel. You can go back and watch it and kind of catch up. It's for all you veterans out there. It's going to be a little boring, but for the new people, there might be some interesting little pieces you can pick up on for your playthrough. But I did a little bit of off-camera stuff because I know that anybody that's done survival style games that or watched videos of someone doing a survival style game, that you don't want to watch all the tree chopping and grinding and all that necessarily. So a lot of that I'm going to try and skip through some so it's not so boring, I guess. So I did go out and well, I'll just turn around over here and show you. So when we ended the stream last time, we basically we had a parasaur and a moss chops. So I went off and got an RG, which is a good utility bird to help just do things. Um, Mainly, they can grab certain dinos in their claws, pick them up. You can carry them back to your base. You can make you a little pin, and I can show you guys if you want. You can comment in below and let me know. But it's very simple. Don't overthink it. It's just 6 square stone foundations and then 10 wall pieces, and you just select through till you get the single door option, and then you just put them around. And most dinosaurs um, can't fit through the gap, so that allows you to be able to shoot them with your narcotic arrows. And there's a couple of different streamers out there that actually they spend time actually designing traps to catch certain dinosaurs. So you can look them up, or if you're more interested in it, I can get out there and find out the videos and put a link up in my Discord. I don't have a link to my Discord in the channel yet. I will get that worked out before the next video, I promise. I'm still learning about a lot of this, so y'all be a little patient with me on some of that. But anyhow, that's just a basic, like, easy pin to do to tame stuff out of. But you have your RG, and you can I thought I had to trap these. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't, but I've learned that I don't have to. You are taking a chance sometimes of losing an RG that you've knocked out if it falls in the wrong area. But more times than none, I've had really good success doing it the way I do it than I have losing one. And then once I got this tamed and up and back, and I had to go farm a few little mats to be able to get the saddle for it. Then I went and got a Doedicurus, which is really good. As you can see, the tail, it's got a spiked ball on the end. They're really good for getting stone, and you can get sand out of some of the rocks. And then on some of the maps, you get more sand out of some of the rocks depending on, I don't know exactly which rocks. I don't need sand. Really, there's only a couple of maps that you would probably need sand. So, but I wanted to show you guys kind of a cool feature that's come along with ASA. And the last time I played with my buddies on our server, they didn't, and they've played a few times on ASA version, and they didn't even realize it. Well, just come on through, would you? Just come on through. Don't mind me and what I'm trying to do here with everybody. Okay, just make yourself at home. But anyhow, with a couple of dinosaurs that we'll be using, a lot of is the Doedicurus and the Ankylosaurus. And the Ankylosaurus is good for getting metal. We don't need metal currently right now, but at some point we will go out and get one. Might even do it today just so I can kind of show you, for you guys that aren't familiar with using the RG to pick things up. I can show you that. We can use that as an example. But I found this one. Let me turn the HUD back on here. And also for y'all that don't know, I didn't go over this on the first video. You can actually name, when you tame, it prompts up tamed, whatever, right? And it brings up another box, and then you can hit OK, or you can type in a name that you want to give that particular dino. You can actually name your dinos. It's, you know, yeah, it's a part of the Ark, and there's a lot of little fun names that people have come up with over the years for different creatures and stuff, but you can do your own thing. I called it Plum Crazy because it's got a purple tint to it. Why not? So, but if you decide you want to just, like, you're in a hurry and you're trying to get out of there because of reasons, you can come in later and hit the options and go over here to the change name, and you can name your Doedicurus. And this is what will be prompted once you're tamed. If you're in the right vicinity of the tame when it becomes tame, the dinosaur when it becomes tame, then you can, it'll give you this option. But if you're not, it'll just become whatever, a Doedicurus. It won't have a name, and then you can come back at a later time, like I'm showing you, to name it. So, and you could change it as many times you want. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever. But anyhow, back to the little trick that or little thing that my buddies found out about, and I could have swore they knew, but they didn't. So, like with the Doedicurus, you can, and when you're looking at your creature, you just hold down E, and it brings up this wheel, right? You can equip saddle if you had a saddle to put on it. You can look at the behaviors. It's got all kinds of different things you can choose to do here, from mating to wandering. If you do wandering, it'll actually gather resources while it's wandering. If it comes up to something that it's attracted to, that it'll gather it for you. You can put in the different range for targeting, the different range for following you. You can enable follow, you can enable mating, and then you can actually set what your stance is for your dinos, whether it's aggressive, attacking your target, passive flee. There's different, once you click into it, it has all these different options for you to do here. Generally, at the beginning like this, when I don't have walls or a good base built, I like to put them, you know, depending on what it is exactly, I try to put them on neutral. So if something comes in and starts hitting the beaver here, we'll get to it next, then it'll come over and start defending it, and along with the other dinosaurs that have a capability of attacking. Because occasionally you can get stuff wander in, or some bird fly in or something. There's no telling. But what I wanted to show you is down here at the harvest settings, right? You can change the harvest settings. You can actually disable the harvest settings if you so choose, but you can actually go into this one and change what it harvests. So you could choose if you want it to be stone or if you want it to be sand. So let's say we wanted sand. We just click sand, and everything it hits, it'll only collect sand. If that product would produce sand, it will collect it, which we don't have any reason for having sand, so we just go back. Now, if you want it to be neutral, where it doesn't specifically grab an item, you just click back on the item that you had highlighted, like I would click sand, and it would go back to a neutral, meaning that, which we want stone, that it would pick up sand and stone, right? And it would pick up other things too. There's other materials that are rock-based materials or hard materials that you can use that it will hit, but you have to be on it. and I will give you a short demonstration. Well, we're going to do quite a bit actually, but it won't take long. I'm not going to do a long video tonight. But I wanted to kind of do a short one just to kind of keep everybody enticed to what I'm trying to do. And so anyhow, so if you're riding it, you can hit certain things like obsidian and crystal with it, and it'll collect it. Now it may not be at a high value, but it'll hit it, and it'll collect some. But these items that you specifically can toggle to for it to collect, it'll do it at a higher rate than you doing it manually with a pick or your axe if you're just doing it by hand. So these are really good. Bottom line is, through all that rambling, is that these are good stone collectors, right? So, and then all your stat points that you have, like it's got 20 points available, you'll want to put, you might put a few in, well, I didn't mean to do it in movement speed. I meant to do it in the melee, but that's okay. It's not, this it's fine. It didn't hurt nothing. But you generally want to put everything into weight, okay? Because these things, like this, for stone, this doedicurus gets a reduction in the weight of stone, right? So, and you'll see how all this plays together. And then this is a beaver. Well, what would you think a beaver would get good? Wood, right? So we're going to get wood, and they do good wood really good. It's not my favorite, but for early, it's fine. It does good, because the other creature that I generally like to get, it's a little harder to get. I didn't have the armor to be able to go up and get it because it's in a cold area. But eventually, I would say that we might get it, we might not. It just depends, what we want to do, where we end up going and what we're going to end up doing and so forth. Now these, I don't believe, they don't have an option to select a specific item. The only two that I'm aware of that I use is the doedicurus and the ankylosaurus. The Doed and the Yankee is the only two that I'm aware of that I use that have that specificness to it, to where you can actually select specific resources for it to collect. So the beaver will get wood and thatch for you. Wood really good, thatch it's okay. It's not like the greatest thing, but it's okay. Boy, you've got big feet. You know what they say about big feet? Well, it's a female, so I don't know that really even plays a factor here. But anyhow, so I have it named the beaver. So I thought we would give the beaver a name together. So let's call, how about Cassie? Cassie the Castroides, because that's their scientific name, right? So anyhow, and as you notice, we've got I was going to show you, we've got another parasaur here. And the reason I did the parasaur is I'm going to show you here. So part of the Lost Colony map, DLC, is that you get this tree, and I believe in my first video I kind of talked about it a little bit. But you have these, I'm pretty sure, these milestones that you do, and as you complete one column, you get a reward, right? You get it. So we were really close, and I thought, well, I'll just do it to get the thing, and then that'll be something else for me to show you guys how this skill tree thing kind of works, right? Now, this is I think this was more specifically designed for Lost Colony map. A lot of the stuff at the end, but there are things that it applies to all the maps, right? Everything can be used, applied to the map, each map that you play, but some of the items that really doesn't make sense to use or to get. And as you play, or if you decide you want to do the Lost Colony and mess around with that, you'll see what I'm talking about. But one of them here is heavy-footed, so this reduces fall damage, and that's one that I generally try to get. just because it's good, right? So all you got to do is, we've got 3 points. You hold the E down, you see the bar come across, and it now it reduces our fall damage by 10%. The next one will do another 10%, which means we have 20. You can see it increasing, and then we got 1 point left, which is what the last one cost. Now we have a max reduction fall damage of 30%, and I assure you that makes a big difference in situations. So then I decided one of the things was to tame a bear, and that was what. I hear a drop coming down somewhere. Hear that somewhere, maybe close. Yeah, it's right over the wall right there. Anyhow, so one of them was to tame a bear, a parasaur, and I don't remember what the first thing. But anyhow, so I just went ahead and grabbed a dire bear. It's a low level. It was an easy tame to do. Didn't have any issues. And you got to, excuse me, you can use the bear to go out and get your honey when you're ready to start producing honey. To make your beehives, you can use the bear to get honey, and they are resistant to the bee stings that you will occur if you try to do it other ways. The bear is resistant to it, so you're in good shape. So you don't really necessarily need a high level to do that. You just need a bear, right? So, but now these are good tames. There's nothing wrong with them. They've got good speed to them. They can they've got good, they can be some formidable dinos to have on your side. That's for sure. And um, an early game, if this was an option for me to tame it and I was to get it, I'd be tickled to death. Being that I've played this map quite a bit, I kind of know the string line of things to get to help the process go along. Of getting to the base, you want a location, and what animals to get, what not to get. So it that was just because I needed to get it to complete the thing, and we needed a bear anyway to get honey at some point. It's fine. So if you'll notice in my hotbar also, I know I'm doing a lot of rambling and I'm just trying to get a little bit of this stuff out of the way before I want to spend time later going and doing some looking to find us a base location. Because that's really the next step for us right now, is to find a location. Start now that we have 2 utility dinos to gather products that we need to make the stone stuff in mass quantities. It'll make life a lot easier. And I'm going to do that off camera as far as building the stone structures and stuff. I might do a little bit of video of building just to kind of show you some things, but I'm not going to make you guys watch me do the whole video of building. That doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't watch it, and I wouldn't expect y'all to watch it. So, but basically, we're set to go and find us a spot, right? A place that we want to build that's near some metal, and I'll show you what the metal nodes look like for y'all that don't know. And then we need an area close to water, because we're going to have water creatures. We're going to have access to water, period, for the greenhouse, because we have to grow a garden. So there's specific things that we've got to look for. But I was going to tell you about the hotbar. So one of the mods is Dino Depot, right? So Dino Depot, I'm going to show you in the engrams. Dino Depot gives you these dino balls. You can do them one at a time, or you can do them in a cluster of 20. And then they have this dino digitizer, where basically all you have to do is select it on the hotbar, point and shoot, and it'll pick them up and place them in a ball automatically. Now, again, this is one of the mods, but the original I'm just going to type it in because I don't know what level it is. The cryopod is what the original Ark game offers for you to use to pick up your dinos and put them in your pocket. And I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with that term. But as you can see, they take quite a bit of resources, and a couple of them, well, really just probably the polymer is a little bit harder to get. Not that it's difficult, you could do it and whatever, but the cryopods can be a little finicky sometimes in picking up creatures. I mean, it's like you've got to be just in a certain spot. You got to, they can be a very frustrating thing. And then you have to build the cryo fridges, and the fridges basically keep up the juice, the battery on the cryopods. I think they have like a 30-day lifespan on them, which is a lot, you know. But again, it's just the mat intensity of it between the fridge, because you have to have polymer and electronics, and the electronics are again, all of this stuff, guys, I've done it all. I've just, this is just, the Dino Depot is just a quality of life thing, right? And they also offers a dino ball storage, and it's very cheap. And that stores your balls. These don't have a charge rate on them, so they're infinite. Like it, you know, maybe that's game breaking. I don't know, but for me, it's just a quality of life. If you've played this game enough, you know the process, the grind it takes to do all that. And there's some other things up here that I've not really messed with much for the depot. The Dino Depot, like this gene storage, I've not screwed with that. I'm not real sure exactly how that works. The depot pad, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I've not messed with it. The depot terminal, you know, there's a few things I've not really messed with a whole lot, but the storage, the balls, and the gun is really the only things that I use. And these other things may be really good, and I just don't know. Now you do see that there's a CS multi-tool and a CS omni-tool. The CS multi-tool does multiple things, and I can show you more of that when we actually get to building and breeding some stuff. That'll come more relevant. And then the Omni tool, it's situational. I'm not saying it's bad at all, but again, it's situational for me. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. It just, but I can make one, and I can show you how it works. If you guys are interested, just make a comment down there, and I'll be more than happy to go over some of this stuff with you. So enough about the jabbering and sitting around and not doing. Let's go see what we can. Let's go see what we can find, and we'll pick up a few drops, you know, along the way. There's one down here if we can make it in time. The white one's gonna just have, like, it'll give you with this awesome spyglass, it gives you all that thatch. We don't need any of it. It's just thatch building pieces. We can look at this blue one and see it's got fur cap. We might need that. Parasaur platform, I doubt it. It's a blueprint. I doubt we use it. There are 3 stone triangle and quarter foundations. That is something that we would use in the future. So I'm going to stop here, wade out here into the water, and let's grab the stone. We'll just grab all of it. It's not a big deal. So it looks like if we can loot 9 more. And the RG, I didn't really go over much. So the RG, with certain dinosaurs like the Doedicurus, the beaver, the Anki and stuff, you can pick them up. Like if we had the Doed, I could pick it up, come up here to this rock, and get down here low enough, and it would automatically swing and hit that rock and collect the rock for you, right? Well, with the RGs, they get a reduction in weight of hauling creatures. So if you get, which is, this is not a real good RG, it's decent, but it's not like real good. Um, it's a good starter one. We'll find a better level one. But with the, like, if I've had it to where the RGs could carry more than the Doid could actually gather, and the Doid would actually be overweight because it kept collecting, right? So there are some really uniqueness to some of that stuff, like that with the RG. It really makes things simple. It simplifies collecting resources, you know, in a faster, massive rate of time. But we're gonna fly around and see what we can see and find, and see if we can find us a good location of places. You know, I've played this map a few times, so I know some good spots, but I always try to, you know, try to do something new. You know, don't you know, that's, to me, that's one reason why Ark itself is replayable. Yeah, the process is kind of the same, um, but each adventure getting a dino is different. Each breeding's a little different. Base locations are different. Um, you know, so I always try to find something a little bit different, and obviously it makes the most sense to find something that's centrally located, because you're going to go to all corners of the map doing things, finding tames, finding resources, doing the cave runs for the artifacts, which are the artifacts are the things you got to have to take to sacrifice to actually go and fight the bosses. Stop here and get us a little rest. So, you know, and depending on, you know, if you're going to do all levels of boss, because you have gamma, alpha, and beta, or I guess gamma, beta, alpha, you're going to have to get those artifacts. You know, if you're going to run through all of them on each level, then you're going to have to make multiple runs into the caves to get those artifacts. You're not just going to do it one time if you plan on doing that. I generally just, and you get rewards based on the level of the boss that you know, what level you take it on at. So we generally we'll do all three, but I typically would just soon just do the alpha and be done. But you know, it's each to their own, whatever they want, and it may just do that we just do the alphas. You know, I don't know. Um, we'll see, and it may be that we just, you know, we just jump to another map and kind of see, you know, just kind of take a tour of the maps and get us a base and a few dinos and just kind of mess around. I don't know what we'll end up doing. But this to the left is the redwood forest. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a beautiful area. But as beauty, what comes with beauty is danger. There is quite a bit of danger in there. Really nothing in there that we currently need. But if it's not too dangerous, I'm going to try and sneak to it and just drop the loot, so we get credit for the, we didn't get credit, I guess, because I didn't pick it up. I think you have to actually put it in your inventory. So anyhow, we didn't lose nothing out of it. So we're going to just fly around here and see if we can't find us a spot that piques our interest. But yeah, the redwood forest, like I said, it's, as you can see, it's beautiful, big redwood trees. There's a mountain in the center. It's really, there's not a real good building spot on it. There's a little bit of metal and crystal. I've never built in there. I've never tried to build in there. You know, maybe someday I do. I don't know. it's not one of my top priorities of jumping into, because it, like I said, it's got some creatures in there that can make life rough for you if you get caught with your britches down. Um, but you will have to go into the redwood. There's no getting away from it if you think, well, I'm not going in there. Well, let me tell you, yeah, you are. If you're going to play this game, you're going into the redwood, because you're going to have to tame a few creatures and you're going to have to get some resources, and there's caves in there. So you go, not just going because he says that. No, trust me, you're going to the redwood forest. Unfortunately, there is no getting around it. This looks like a decent spot. Now, I it's not necessarily by, like, there's water down there in the swampy area, which is fine for cooking and drinking and in your garden. It's not going to be good for your water tames. So that's something you got to think about too, is, do I want to be smack dab in the middle, or do I want to be, on the edges where I can actually raise my water tames? And, there's been times that we have a base here, and we do a smaller base near the ocean where we can actually raise our water tames and breed them if we need to. That's not a bad spot. Good, it's decently flat. A lot of area. Uh, some stone and wood um, if we need it um, for other things along the way. I'm thinking maybe we might end up just doing it by the beach. That sounded like a pissed off acro. That's one of the new, yep, right there. It's one of the newer dinos they've added to Ark. It's on most maps that I've seen. Um, it is it's a fun tame. We might end up giving that a whirl. They're pretty unique characters. They have a couple of unique attacks. It's kind of neat. I know Ross Clark, if you guys aren't familiar, he's a big Ark YouTuber and one of my favorites to watch. He's just a funny guy and does a lot for the Ark community, and really promotes the game of Ark itself. And he does a lot of content on new things coming with Ark, new creatures, maps, what's going on with the game, with the creators, and he has a good insight of what's going on, and he's been playing a long time. And I've talked to him a little bit, about starting to stream, and he gave me, some tips and stuff, this and that. The main thing is to just start streaming and see where it goes. So, if you're looking for someone that's got some pretty cool content and stuff, he's one of those that I would recommend. He's a funny guy, and you can learn a lot from him. He's got a lot of informational videos on how to tame, about the maps, just a lot of data on Ark itself. He's one of the I guess OGs of Ark, you could say. So I'm just gonna fly around. This is kind of, as you can see by the map. Let me pull up. For some reason that doesn't come in clear all the time, so let's pull this in. There's a major river kind of that runs through Ark here, and then it's got a little split, and this is all swamp on this side here. This is all swamp area. There's some swamp in here, a little bit here. There's some swamp over here. But the river kind of splits off in a couple of ways and runs through the center of the island. And then there's some little channels like here, different whatevers. But the main river it runs through here, and I guess the other fork comes this way around the redwood forest area. And this is the volcano area here. Um, so we're just going to kind of go around the redwood forest a little bit and see if we see anything. We might actually end up doing something like right in here, maybe right in this area somewhere, like up on this cliff or something, maybe. That'll give us some water to actually have our tames out, and so be it. Or we might do something right here or here or something. We might end up along that. It's just this water here. You can't access the ocean, and for the stuff that you need to do for the game, is that you've got to go into the outskirts of the island in the ocean area. That's where the caves are, so that's where you've got to have those. And you don't have to have them out. You can take them, you can put them in your cryopods or your dino balls and take them out there and do your breeding and like build a little pit. You don't have to. There's no right way to play this game. You play it how you feel like you want to play and what works best for you. There's no wrong or right way to do it, and you just find, like I said, the way that works for you, and just enjoy it. There's going to be enough frustrations. Don't get frustrated on your base location. There's no necessarily wrong way to do it. I try to find something around the area of we ran out of stam because I wasn't paying attention. But that shows you what happens. They just dive. If you're riding a dinosaur that flies and you run out of stam, they just die. And you just got to deal with it until it builds enough stam, and it can be a little bit butt clenching, as they say, to get out of some situations when you've got shit around you, like that Rex, which we've got stam. But I was just talking to you about we're fine. We'll get away from it. It's no big deal. But if you were to run out of stam and that Rex was right there and wasn't aggroed on anything, well, you're gonna take some beatings. And if you're on a PT, you ain't gonna last very long because their health pool is shite. So you might as well get ready for that. Now this is the little pool here with this rock sticking up, is where I found the beaver that we've got. He was swimming around here. I just picked up the bear and balled it up, and I seen something swimming real fast, which I know beavers are found to be around this little pool. And I thought, well, that's a beaver, and I looked, and it was a decent level. And I thought, well, we're going to grab that thing and take it back and pin it up. And so that's kind of what I did. Here's an old structure. There might be yep, there is, right in the center of it. One of those explorer nodes, so we can activate it.
Well, this seals it. Just when I thought I'd made some sense of the notes I took while visiting the painted sharks, I spotted the nail in the proverbial coffin. Roos. A whole herd of giant roos were just hopping about the countryside like they'd always been there. As much as I love roos, they just shouldn't be here. Period. They evolved in Oz and Oz only, 60 million years after the dinosaurs went extinct, among a bevy of other marsupials. If I know any genus, it's this one, and Prosoptodon should not exist here. This island isn't an ecosystem, it's a zoo.
So we're going to fly over this way, kind of towards that area this wouldn't be a bad spot. I think I've built here before. It's not a bad spot. You could even build up here if you wanted. I think I want to go over here, though, where we were kind of talking about. I was showing you on the map. Let's see. The next thing is that you do have to have quite a bit of metal, especially in the later ends of the, towards the ends of the game when you're actually trying to, getting ready to go and take on the bosses and stuff. Some of the blueprints that you can get for saddles and stuff, depending on what you take into boss battles and gun making, armor stuff, different thing. It could take quite a bit of metal. So I'm not real familiar with the resources in this area, so that's kind of why I wanted also to come over here and check it out. It's a good area, like for flatness. It's a lot of area for breeding. It'd be a really good spot for that. We got a good little cove of water here, plenty deep enough for some of the water tames. We can pin up out there and protect them, and well, they can protect themselves for the most part. What we'll have, eventually, if we get into that far, which I plan on it. I don't know that we'll necessarily go through all the breeding and take on the bosses. It just depends on what you guys want to do. If you want to try other maps, or if you want to maybe look at some other games. It's just whatever you feel like doing. So that's probably not a bad spot right there, to be honest. Like I said, I just don't know where the metal, the metal is, and that's the biggest thing concern for me here is where our metal's at. But as far as, like, this would be a really good area. Kind of like it. Let's just take a little flight. Generally, the metal is, I know where some is, but generally, we just have to figure out if there's something here close, because like I said, I don't know offhand. Like I said, I'm not real familiar with this land in here, of whether there's something really close or not. I know, like I said, I know where some is. It's not real close to this, so it would be a little bit of a haul. But again, there's, no one says that you have to, that you can't set up another base with dinos that help you get metal, and you can just set up a mining site, where you've got your Anki, a bird, and your forges and some wood, and just smelt everything there and bring your metal back to your main base. They actually have dinosaurs that have big platforms, saddles that you can build on, or you can actually put other dinosaurs on. It's the Bronto has one, the Parasaur has one. And there's even a flying one, the Quetzal. It's a big flying bird. If we see one, I'll show it to you. But it's for y'all that don't know what it is, but it has a big platform saddle. And you could actually, you could fly. They carry a lot. I think they actually even have a weight reduction to them, like the RG does. But you can actually, put 2 or 3 Yankees on there and fly over there and your RG and just fill them up, bring them back to your base and unload, and there you are. You've got a full day or two of smelting to do, and as with any other thing, you have advanced tables for smelting and doing different things that increase the production rate and stuff. So, and we'll get into that. We'll all get into that, I promise. I'm not really seeing anything that says there's a lot of metal close by, and I could just be flying over the top of it. Not, like I said, I don't know. I'm not visually seeing any. But I know there's a particular mountain that's been deemed by the former players through the years. It's called Metal Mountain, and it does have a lot of metal on it. So you can take your RG over there and with your Anki and get you a load of it, and it's, you know, it's no big deal. Just a little more time, a little more grind. Everybody's aware of the grind. I'm not seeing anything here close. Almost, Raptor. Almost, buddy. Come up a little short, didn't you, bud? Sorry about that. This would be another good spot right here. Off on the end of this point. You could, you know, you got plenty of room for breeding and a nice spot here for a base. Real close to the ocean. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. Plenty of stone. Plenty of stone, plenty of wood. Where's this at? Exactly in relationship to. So the spot we found earlier was right here. Right here. And I think this mountain, this is Metal Mountain here. We could always come up here and live on the beach somewhere if we wanted to. I know this beach is, excuse me, this beach here is pretty clear. Quite a bit of space along this here beach. So maybe we ought to take a little fly over there and kind of look and see if something grabs our eye. There's not going to be much. We might be able to get here on this point. Maybe we could look at that and see. I'm not sure. Or that may be I think it actually goes down in because there's a pond here, and there's usually beavers in this pond, and I think in this pond too. Call them ponds. I don't know what else it'd be, but pool of waters. So you could actually build up here on this ledge and then have your aquatic dinos in here if you wanted to. I would love to build in the snow, but we're just not. We don't have the equipment yet to be able to do that. So you're going to have to be able to do that. You're going to have to do a little bit of grinding to get where you can build some gear or find some in the drops that will allow you to live up there. But the problem is if you die and you respawn at your base, well, the first thing it's going to hit you is you're going to be freezing to death. So you have to take that into consideration and of that happening. So we can fly up here and just kind of look around and see, see what's. I don't have the water caves on here, and I don't know why, but I don't have them marked. But I want to think there's one like on each side, or maybe there's one here and one here. I can't remember. There's two caves. So really it's just access to the metal is going to be the biggest thing. I know there's some metal here on the lava mountain, but there's not like a bunch. But there's quite a bit of obsidian and crystal here, and you're going to need some of it. So, it's always kind of like, what do you do? That's why usually I try to build, somewhere along this river, over here on this river bank, or somewhere over here, kind of in the center, around the center of stuff, just because it's near everything, and I don't have, I don't have to worry about I don't build another base. I just, I get a couple of good dinos that I want to use in the water, and I breed them up to get a good one and level it up, and that's kind of just, that's all I do. Again, I've played this enough that I know kind of what I need to do. So, you know, it's so yeah, we can venture over here because that's not a long flight here. Um, it's not a long flight to get metal. I mean, at the end of the day, but I know that metal is going to be the more resource that we're going to be more likely using a lot more of potentially than like the obsidian and crystal that you win. And there's obsidian and crystal in a lot of places, but I do know that you know, the metal for sure is on this mountain, so it might be better to try and find something, you know, around this point right here. Um, so let's just fly over there. It won't take that long. We can take a mental note of this here. Let's go ahead and get a stam build at a couple of levels here. We can put some more stam in here, a couple in weight. I always like to do a little bit of movement speed. See, like right here, we got a blueprint for a parasaur platform saddle. Well, it takes 2,902 metal ingot, along with the cementing paste and the silica pearls. It's an expensive saddle from the beginning, you know, and so to be able to produce that from this blueprint, it's going to take a lot of resources if we were going to do a parasaur platform saddle, which I don't suspect that that's one that we're going to do. I've done the Quetzal thing. It's okay. It's fine. But I could tell you, you know, you get a good Argy and a good Anki, good level Anki and Argy, and you go out and fill that thing up, and you're gonna have, you know, 4, 5, 6,000 iron on you. So that, you know, since it's 2-to-1 ratio, then you're looking at, you know, 2 to 3,000 ingots when it's produced, you know. So it's not like it's hard to go get. You know, once you get the industrial forge, it doesn't take that long for it to go through it and melt it. So again, though, but my rates are turned up, so that does, you know, that does play a factor into it. So if you were just playing on the base rates, yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot more grinding, you know, to get your stuff. I wanted to show you, for you guys that are new to the game, what the metal nodes or metal rocks, whatever, look like. As you can see, there's a pretty decent number of them here. But this is what they look like. They stick out pretty good. You can see what they, compared to the regular rocks, what they look like. So we went ahead and got them arrested. But this is the volcano mountain. And just like you can get cold, you can get hot. So you have gear that you can get that better protects you from the hot, from the cold. So, Mr. Sabretooth, you just chilling? And you know, there's some dinosaurs I just get because they're cool. I like them, the colors, or maybe what they can do. Oh, we got a couple of Karchars. There's an 80. That ain't bad. Now those are some formidable dinos if you can get them. They're just tough to tame. I've not really mastered them real well. You basically you have to kill something like a smaller dino, and you have to drag it up there, and it'll sniff, and then you drop it, it'll come up and eat it, and then once the green circle pops up, then you go and jump on it, and you have to It's a process. Let me just tell you, and you will die a few times probably. So make sure you have things prepared for that. Um, but that 80's not bad. Like it's not max level at 150, but it's not bad. The other one's pretty low level, but the 80's not just nothing to sneeze at. I mean, they are they are some bad boy. Now you can see there's quite a bit of obsidian. That's the black rock, and you can see all the crystal on that wall over there. The white stuff, that's all crystal. So this is a good place to come and get those resources. And the Yankee is good at getting the obsidian and crystal. And there is some metal around here in spots, but it's not like it's full of metal. But there's enough here you can, come get you some if you decide to build somewhere close to here. There's some more here. We seen some on the other side. I'm gonna fly over here and try and get, well, it's gone. We didn't make it in time. Crap. Nope, there it is. We got time. If it's safe. I don't ever just jump off. Try to listen and look a little bit, make sure it's clear enough for me to grab everything, jump back on the RG, at least get on the RG and fly up in the air a little bit, then look and see, okay, what did I get, so we got some goodies. But what we're looking for is to come over here. This mountain, I believe, is Metal Mountain, if I remember correct. Yeah, the island is a beautiful map. Like there's a Anki there. What is it? 35. That's for starting out, if that's what you can get, that's what you get. Like this RG, I think it was a base 95. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't think that you have to go out and you have to get max level everything and this and that. You might find that later on or whatever, but that there's nothing wrong with that's what you find, which we're not looking for them, but if that's what you find, then it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Get started, and as you're making trips or you're doing other things, you might find a 150 Yankee, and it's no big deal. But see there, I can pick that up. Even the wild ones, I could fly this thing back over there to our taming pen, drop it in there and knock it out, and Bob's your uncle. But we're going to fly over here. I just wanted to kind of show you that. And it had a baby with it. So if it had, excuse me, if the baby was the opposite sex, so that's a female, I don't know where the baby went to. I don't see it. But if the baby was a male and that was like a 135 or something, I would try and tame it right here, because once it's tamed, then the baby goes neutral, and you can just run over there and push claim, and then that baby's yours. You don't get the extra levels for taming it, but you can breed it into that and get a good breeder. If you but usually you just want one Anki. I mean, that's enough. A good high level Anki, because the odds of you losing it is it's very low. So here's some metal. Yeah, there's little groups of metal, and the fog can be horrific in this map, to where you on all the maps, to where you cannot see. We got some Argentavises flying around here. Yeah, I can't see nothing. I have no idea where I'm going. No idea. This is great. I could be flying right into the mouth of a Rex. I have no idea where I'm going. So it's showing you guys stuff is kind of hard. See, I can't even see. Literally can't see. It's just terrible. It just we'll fly back down, get out of them clouds. Excuse me. Get out of the clouds, and I don't know what that line is. Don't ask me. Pissed off an RG. But we're on the side of the mountain that we wanted to be on, so yeah. And you can see there's metal. There's little pieces of metal like that all over this mountain on all sides, just everywhere. That's why they call it Metal Mountain. Just it don't take long to come over here and get you a load of metal, and you could build over here if that's what you want to do. You know, each to their own. We're going to fly over here and find a spot to land. A little stamina. This wouldn't be a bad little spot right here. It's not near any water, so you're going to have to do a lot of water moving to get, you know, to get your water up here. That's a beautiful Archie. Oh, that's beautiful. Colors are just beautiful on it. And usually the most beautiful dinosaurs are going to be the lowest level, and I don't know why. That's a beautiful one too. Look, the colors on it. It's 15. But for some reason on the island, the last few times that I've played it, excuse me, the last few times that I've played the island, for some reason, levels hit. The last few times I've had to wipe the map, and for y'all that aren't familiar with that term, basically you kill all the wild dinos, and then it'll start respawning stuff. For some reason, the levels are just like, look, 10, 20s, 50s, 10s, just I don't know why, but it seems like you have to wipe it and let it reach in the map with dinos, and then you start getting some decent level stuff. I've gotten pretty fortunate on the beaver and the doed with levels. You know, they were decent levels, so I got you know, kind of lucky with that. Not a very good spot. It ain't. There's not much room there. Look at this spot over here. There's not a lot of close trees, but usually wood's not a big deal. Kind of a hillside. It's not real flat. Not that any of it's just perfectly flat, but you know what I mean. This kind of looks like. It ain't too bad. Well, there's another explorer note. Let's get it. I don't guess we get any bonus. Huh. No little animated thing come up. Weird. I guess not all of them produce one. Not sure about that. But we got the experience because I can see the, if you'll look in the upper right hand corner, you'll see the purple arrows pointing up in the counter, which means that you're getting increased experience. experience rate. So this little spot here wouldn't be bad. We could build here. Plenty of wood, stone, right by the ocean. Not that far from the metal. Wouldn't be too bad. See on the map. Yeah, we're kind of at the furthest corner. Excuse me. Let's go a little further in, maybe. I don't know. We may come back to this. This wouldn't be bad here. Good and flat. A lot of area. When you start breeding your dinosaurs out, to start taking on, you know, the bosses, you need to have quite a bit of area. They can take up a lot of space. So just remember that in picking your bases out. Yep, this wouldn't be bad right here either. Wouldn't be too bad here. Little ledge up here. If you wanted to get, you know, up off the beach, you could. I think this wouldn't be bad at all here. Plenty of room. See, yeah. It gets us a little closer to the metal mountain for getting that. Yeah. And there are some deeper areas in these rivers here, especially on this channel. Through here. There are some deeper areas where you could actually, you know, toss out your underwater tames. You know, you could actually put them in there. You're just gonna have to like build a freaking wall all around it. A pen, you're gonna have to build a pen to protect them, you know, and that's fine. Again, there's not a wrong way to do it. It's totally up to you, but you can see that this is fairly deep right here, and this is going up into that river. You know, it's good depth. It's pretty deep. So if you know, it's a berry onyx. They are good tames to take with you taming when you've got some, when you have some underwater adventures that you're going to experience. Those are good. The Microraptor, they are, oh boy, they can be a troublemaker, let me tell you. They can be a troublemaker. They will knock you off your tames and knock you out for a few seconds, and things can get really bad for you in a hurry. And they could kill you. I mean, they could do enough damage over time that they could kill you, but boy, they can really turn a good situation to a bad one in a hurry. I hate them. With a passion do I hate them. But that's a little pool there. You could put up some walls, gates, and stuff, and make you a pen, water pen, if you wanted to. But I'm kind of thinking maybe either, you know, probably this side. This beach is a little more open, flat. That side's fly up a little bit. I don't want that thing knocking me off, because they can't like fly necessarily, but they can kind of like a turkey. They can jump and flop a little bit and glide forever. So they're just freaking assholes. But that beach would be okay over there if you wanted. It'd be a long base, but this one's a little more deeper where we can do things. We're just going to have to put up more gates, which is fine. It just means more resources. It's fine. But I think this would be a nice area. Plus, we're right here near the water where we can do our water tame stuff. So, yeah, I think this will be fine right here. Yeah, this will be fine. So what we'll do, come in here to the mini map. You go to your waypoints and you can add a point, right? And you just put in new base. And you can actually change the color of your icon if you want. Make it purple, pink, whatever you want to do. You can change the icon itself. You can make it. You got different selections here. Different, if you're marking a dino, maybe you found, or a cave that you do whatever you want, whatever works for you. It don't really matter. I just use the pin drop thing. It's fine. You can show the text of what it is. If you so let's create this, right? And you can go in and edit it if you need to, or you can delete it. But once you've created it, you can come over here and left click it, right? And then what that does is it actually brings it up right here. Why is that not? That's weird. Why did it do that? Delete that. I don't know why it done that. I don't know why. See if it does it right this time. Yeah, there it is. So it's right underneath this, right? So we just click it, and it shows us our base location is right here. So then when we fly back over to where, well, they're not, I don't have that base actually tagged, but what I can do is you can come into this tracking panel, right? And this will show you all the animals that you have out. So if you've got them all balled up, you're not going to have none of this, right? But I can tag, like our parasaur, that, I don't know which one we actually tamed. I have no idea. Probably this one. Didn't really matter. But it'll tag it to where, see you there? It's there now, parasaur. It's 5,551 meters. So we're going to go down here and get a full rest on our stamina. Full juice. Keep an eye out for the microraptors that were around here. We're going to have to take care of them things. That's going to be, I do not want them around me. So anyhow, I think that is full. And yes, there is a toggle auto. You just hold down R. Brings up this wheel. And there's different options for you to do things. So you just drag your arrow over to that. And then left click it. And it'll toggle the auto fly, auto walk, auto run. Not auto walk, but auto run. Or auto swim, whatever. So as long as you got stamina, it'll keep flying. So you can kind of put it on cruise control. Just be mindful, again, of your stamina. See if we can swing in here and get this drop. It's a yellow one. It'll be that's a decent. And it's got a red ring, which means that it's, if I remember correct, it has something to do with like it's double the quality or something like that. Just have to be careful going into these that's got canopy, and just sit here a second and see. You know, make sure there's nothing too. Just jump off, grab it, jump back on, and get out of here. Make sure there's nothing too crazy. It's gonna, you know. And if it's a Microraptor, it's gonna knock you off regardless. But if it's a Rex, it's gonna scream, or a Raptor's gonna make a noise. You know, something like that that you're gonna hear before you just jump off and grab it. You know, just kind of give it a second or two. You know, if you got it, and give it some time for the dinos to react before you get yourself in trouble. And you say, well, I guess he's learned from. Yes, I have learned from that. Yes. Doesn't mean it still can't happen, but at least it decreases the odds. So now we can look and see what we picked up. Oh, we got a really good crossbow. Yeah, we'll replace the old... and you can remove your ammo that's slotted in. We'll put that over there. We got some pearls. That's good. Laser attachment probably won't get used. We got another piece of fur. We got a hat. Now we got some. If we get some chest and legs, we can go to the cold area and not worry about it. We got a Bronto saddle, which is fine. Bronto, there's nothing wrong with them. They gather berries like nobody's business, man. Like a couple of tail swipes and you've got berries for days. So even a lower level, you know, because it does take quite a bit of narcs to knock them out. So just wanted to stop here and get some stam before we go across the redwoods. That's not a place I necessarily want to get caught in, because there, like I said, there are things in there that you will see if you're not familiar with them that will eat your face in a hurry and knock you off your tames. And it's just between the Microraptors, the Thylas, it's a place that you got to be. You got to have all your sensors on, and still stuff can happen. It happened to me earlier when I was getting, oh, the Doed. Yeah, I'd seen that Doed. I think it was like a 110, and I seen the Thyla on the side of the tree, and I thought I'd missed, you know, got it, but I didn't. The next thing I know, I'm flying through the air because it jumped off the tree and grabbed me and was eating my face, and I died. But my bird was on attack target, so it killed the Thyla, but I was already dead. And let's just do it 20. So I had to get on the PT, fly over there, call the bird over to a safe area, ball up the PT. It was just a process. It's not like it's the end of all ends, but it just, you know, it's just a process. See, yeah, there's a Thyla. See it there on the side of that tree? See, it's a level 5. That one that killed me was a 15, I think. It don't take much. Thylas there's some Microraptors right there. No, that's an Architect Rex. Yeah, I can't say all the names right. I'm not good at it, but anyhow, there are Microraptors in there, I assure you. But for some reason, like I said, like everything's low level. And usually you have to wipe the map when you start getting stuff that you know, when you can't start finding levels. Like with the Archie, that was the best level I found, and I flew around for a while, and it was a 95. I'd like to find a little bit, you know, a little bit better than that, just so I can have, you know, start making those metal runs and stuff and doing other things. I want a little bit better level dinosaur. So I would have to guess that probably more than likely we're going to have to wipe the map and give it time to repopulate and see what we can find for stuff. rhino, not rhinonathia. They sound like a helicopter, and they're an interesting tame. I've tried to tame one. It didn't work out for me, and I'm sure I did something wrong. They're more for, not that they can't be used for PvE, but they're more PvP. I mean, they really are. But they're cool sounding. I mean, they sound just like a helicopter. There's a beehive. But we don't have no way to store our bee. It'll spoil, or the honey, I'm sorry. We don't have no way to store our honey before it would spoil, so we're just not ready for that yet. It will be there. We'll be there the next few videos. It's going to take a little bit to get everything, you know, all the pieces put together and get the base built, get the dinos moved over, and then we'll start, you know, we'll set up 3 or 4 furnaces and start smelting metal and getting some of the resources we need to build the next tier of stuff. And it just takes a little time. No big deal. No hurry. It's not a race. You don't get anything special for doing it in record time or anything. So we're going to go ahead and grab this stuff here. Hide. Some pieces here. Spoiled meat. Take all this in here. And I added another box just for bits and pieces of stuff, you know, like this. Don't want that to go in there necessarily. Probably, let's see, I keep remembering if yeah, I started putting stuff in here. I guess I put queue up some narcotics. So that's what I was looking for. Goes over here with this. So you kind of get an idea of, you know, what we got next. We've got us a location picked out. Kind of showed you what I did off camera leading into this video. I went and got, you know, a couple of 3 dinos that we need to really increase our building speed on raw materials between the Doid and Mr. Plum Crazy here. You can kind of see the purple now that it's daytime. And then we got Cassie, the Castroides. They purr. They're pretty cool. Big feet. Big feet. Lord of mercy. Anyhow. We got the RG. So I can show you right quick. We're about ready to call it there for the evening. So let's pick up the beaver. Pick it up and come up here to this tree and stop by hitting X, and she just goes to chomping. See there? Come over here and do the same thing. Hit X. Now I think they must have done some tweaking to this mechanic, because in ASE, man, it can be a pain sometimes getting things just right lined up. But we're full. Alright, that's enough. See, it just keeps chomping. Just keeps chomping, and you have no way of moving. So we're going to dump every one of these points. We're still overweight. So what you have to do is drop it. Fly down here. And show you. That's a lot of wood. Right? Like, that would take us several trips by hand to go do this. But I can sit here and pump this weight into here. And That doesn't help me here. That just helps me here. Does that make sense? That just allows the beaver to get more. That doesn't allow the Argy to get more, for you guys that are kind of new to this. So you got some options here. You can try and... We're going to take some of this wood off of this beaver. Generally, I would have been paying more attention to that, but I was trying to show you guys. We took, a pretty good load off of the beaver. And then she's in a safe spot, so it's not a big deal. Come over here and hit this pull, hit W, and it'll bring up wood. And I checkbox the Argentavis and pull. Now, if the beaver had been closer, we could have pulled some of it too. But we freed up all the wood we put on here. We freed up some weight on the beaver. So maybe, just maybe, we can pick her up. Yeah. So anyhow, that just kind of gives you a little, for any new people to kind of see exactly what I was trying to do here. And you do the same thing with the doed. You just pick it up, right click, and it'll pick it up. If you get the right close enough, it'll grab it. And you can come over here, get close to it, hit X. Now some of these rocks are like permanent rocks. You can't bust them. But you get used to what you need to look for. Like right here. She'll hit it. Let's go. Sometimes there's rocks under the mat a little bit. They get a little bit swing happy. So, anyhow, that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on there. And what I'm going to do, I'll do it off camera so you guys don't have to watch that boring part, is I'm going to produce some building pieces for us to take over, and I think what I'm going to do is get everything I need that I want to build, and I probably will just do a short video of us building. It doesn't take that long to put all the pieces in. Hopefully I can get them all built, carried over there, and even if I got to build a box or whatever, I'll put everything in it, and then we'll build the base and kind of show you what I kind of do. And if you guys got ideas, whatever, of base ideas and suggestions, leave it in the comments, man. I'm open for all that. No big deal. So, with that, guys, I'm going to leave you with it on this rainy day in Ark on the island. And until next time, you guys take care. Like, share, and subscribe. And I promise it'll get a little more exciting. It's coming. I'm trying to not make it any more duller than it is. I know it's not the most exciting stuff, so just keep coming back. I assure you, there'll be some fun times and some information for you new people that you will enjoy getting to learn. So y'all take care. Have a good one.